I take Samurai Jack over any anime right now. Yeah, it's just a shame that they kind of fucked up the last season of Samurai Jack. Oh, that was such a disappointment because the first few episodes of the last season, the fifth season of Samurai Jack, were so good. The first few episodes of the fifth season were unironically some of the best anime, like just any animated media that I've ever seen. But it really started to fall apart at the end, which was a huge shame, which really, really, really sucked. Now, I wonder who like, God. Okay, can I set this up for you guys? Can you just give me a second, okay? I got up out of bed early for me, okay? Just let me have this, all right? So, Samurai Jack was a really, really, really good animation out of Cartoon Network. I'm sure you've all seen it, right? Like the premise is there's a samurai from feudal Japan who fights like a demon, and he has the power to defeat that demon. And the demon casts him forward in time, into the future after the demon has already won the war over Earth. Yeah, a coup. And so Samurai Jack is in like this cyberpunk like interplanetary future with aliens and shit, and Aku is the Grand Demon Lord. Aku, yeah, 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 really, really good. But anyway, like Samurai Jack wants to get back to the past in order to defeat the demon before he takes over the universe, right? And over the four seasons of the original show, he never does it. He doesn't succeed in doing so. Um, he never wins, right? And then to everyone wants a finale to Samurai Jack. And then after like 15 years, they're like, yeah, we're finishing it. We're doing the final season. Like in real 15 real life years. And they do the fifth season, okay? And it starts off so fucking good. It was 13 years? Well, yeah, whatever. It starts off so unbelievably fucking good. The gist of it is that Samurai Jack, all the time portals are gone. There's no way to get back home. Every way home is gone. He cannot go back. And as a product of him being cast forward in the future, he's immortal. It's been like 50 or 100 or whatever many years, but he can't go back home, and he's basically just suicidal. He's grown a depression, beard. So like, it seems like the premise. It seems like the kind of premise that you would only get from fan fiction, like good fan fiction, but it was real and canonical, where you have a kid show protagonist have a finale done in the future, which opens with them considering suicide. I mean, it reads like something like really good fan fiction. Oh yeah, it was on Adult Swim, but it was canonically Jack. It wasn't like a spin-off. It was the fifth season. It was accepted as that. Um, and to have that, like it's really surreal. I mean, in terms of like, it literally would be like if there was an extra season of Ed, Ed and Eddie done by the same people where there was an SCP under the cul-de-sac. In terms of like I can't believe we're doing this, Yeah, growing the show with the audience, because this is what everyone wanted to see. The premise of Samurai Jack was always pretty dark. Um, and they really committed to that. And the first couple episodes, he doesn't have his sword, the demon killing sword. He's super depressed. He's thinking of killing himself, but he can't because it would be dishonorable, because samurai code, because you can't kill yourself unless you've finished your, like what, like it's a whole like pride thing. But there's like seriously, like the first couple episodes are just him battling his depression, and the big fuck up, man, the big fuck up was that they had to bring pussy into the mix. I'm sorry, they had to bring a love interest in. I don't know why. Samurai Jack was a based Volcel the entire original show. The entire original show, he was just on his game. He was focused. And he meets with this daughter of Aku, basically like a biological daughter of Aku, because he's a demon lord. I'm sure he rapes like billions of, mortals, whatever. And she's like this crazy cultist lady, and she gets like broken away from the cult by Jack. And the thing that really bugs me, excuse me, the thing that really bugs me though is like they pull. I hate this trope more than anything in my life. Okay, you know the trope where there's a woman. The term on TV tropes is born sexy yesterday, um, and the trope, it's like a hot chick who's an adult, who's strong, who's competent, but like they're so naive that they need a male character to like guide them through every element of socialization. Does that make any sense? Like, this chick is like a cult warrior. I mean, she could fight Samurai Jack and potentially win. Um, and she's got like big tits or whatever. And but then she's like, "What is that? Is that a butterfly?" Like she's doing the "Is that a pigeon?" while pointing at a butterfly thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, and she gets like Jack treats her like his daughter because she's completely like insulated from the world because she's in a cult, you know? But then they end up being love interests. And the thing that bugs me here is like this isn't Jack isn't like an 18-year-old or whatever. He's like 100-year-old legendary warrior. So for him, of all people, to develop a romance with somebody who has the emotional intelligence of an 8-year-old, you know, I mean, she grows out of it, but like, does that make any sense? You know what I mean? Like, if he was just like some like young guy and she was naive and they kind of like learned together, but Jack doesn't have anything to learn. He's literally an immortal warrior, you know? Yeah, like there isn't any mutual growth here. He starts out as her dad and ends up as her boyfriend. It's just, yeah, I really hate that trope, but especially with somebody as old and wise as Jack. Yeah, he was literally the first male she ever saw. Okay. This is like the fantasy future equivalent of Jack waiting outside of like the middle school parking lot. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird. It's just weird. Yeah, Catholics be like. Yeah, look, I don't have an issue with Jack having a love interest. I just don't know why the love interest had to be like an emotionally stunted, baby-brained. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think so. And I think that really fucked the last season because that made the last season in large part about the development of their romance, which I don't care. I don't care. You're you're the legendary samurai warrior cast forward in time, looking to go back in time to defeat the demon god before he took over. I do not care who your romantic interest is. I do not care. If it was established earlier in the series and they developed on it later, then maybe there'd be some kind of continuity. But this was completely done through in like 5 episodes. And then and then at the end, none of it. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm almost done, then we'll do politics. And then at the end, the thing that really bugs me is that the end of the end doesn't even make any sense. Basically, they're fighting a coup, and a coup is, you know, all strong and shit, and they're all fighting, you know. And then basically, the girl, the daughter of Aku, you know, the love interest of Jack, like midway through the fight, is like, oh yeah, I'm Aku's daughter, which means that I have her powers. I mean, I have his powers, which means that I can also send you through time. And then she sends him through time. I wish I was joking. That's actually what happens. The chick that he's been with the entire last season, midway, she's like, "Oh yeah, I have the powers of the demon god." There you go. Yeah, she just realized that. And then and the weird thing is, this is true time travel. Jack goes back and kills Aku, which means the future that Jack has spent the entire show in never happens, which means the daughter of Aku was never born, which means all the friends that he made over the 5 seasons of Samurai Jack never lived. Which mean, like, I thought there was going to be some final scene where Samurai Jack was like, I'm leaving, you know, like, I'm leaving you all behind. I'm sorry. Or something, like, something. Hold up, I thought she got those powers in the final episode. Did she just get them at the final? It was super lazy and finger snappy. No matter what the narrative contrivance was, it was a finger snap moment. It was just like, oh yeah, bam. Like, it was, yeah, it wasn't, I forget the exact series of circumstances, but it was, yeah. It was very finger snappy. But what I expected, so there were 2 directions they could, no, there were 3 directions they could have gone with, basically. One is that Samurai Jack goes back and deletes the future, and the daughter of Aku just essentially commits suicide by sending him back to change the future into one where she never existed. Okay. The second one is where he decides not to go back. After the defeat of Aku, he decides to let what's done is done and try to build the future better. Which could have been an interesting ending, like if he realized at the end there never was a way to get back and defeating Aku wasn't about saving the past, it was about saving that future. I think that would have been a good ending. In fact, I expected that ending. Because otherwise, implicitly, all the people he's met would be dead. They wouldn't exist. All the people we know. We never knew anyone from Jack's time, back in like 1200 Japan, you know? And the third one could have been like some people go back to the past with him, like the Scotsman or something. And an ending where you have him playing the bagpipes over like the rolling rice fields of feudal Japan would have been very funny, you know. But they went for the least interesting one at the end. He just gets sent back, defeats Aku, and that's it. And then it's like, oh well, I guess all that never really happened then. Okay, you know, I don't know. Yeah, but the Scotsman died. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Also, wait, is he still immortal afterwards? Like he's gonna live forever? It was kind of rushed, but yeah. Can you imagine if Samurai Jack was immortal after he went back to the past, and then you have like this ancient, legendary, immortal warrior with a magical sword? He's going to rule the fucking world, you know? Remember the Portal Guardian that went nowhere? Oh, fuck, dude! That's right! The Portal Guardian from Samurai Jack. I don't know why they didn't... I think they lampshaded this in the final season by showing some shot of like the portal being destroyed or something. There was an episode in the original Samurai Jack, so before they did the whole reboot, where there was a time portal that Jack found, being guarded by a guy called the Guardian, and the Guardian kicked his ass. In fact, I think he's the only guy who ever kicked Samurai Jack's ass. Like he fucking destroyed Samurai Jack. The dude was strong as fuck. And then rather than kill Jack, he let him live. And he was like, "You're not the one who's going to make it through this portal. This guy will." And then you look into the portal, and the person who goes through the portal in the future is like ancient old man Samurai Jack. Like basically, you're not strong enough now, but one day you will be, and then you'll go back to the past. Yeah, he looked like this or something in the portal, I think. Like, one day you will go through the portal, but not today. And he looks like this. But that just never happened. They just retconned that. I think they showed the Guardian dead in the last season or something. Yeah, it got retconned. Which is kind of a shame, because I feel like that narrative continuity would have done a lot to legitimize the end. You know what I mean? Like, it would have done a lot to legitimize the 5th season.